So guys, I'm back at it again today for another follow-up review on the all-new Kiesel Kyber guitar. Be sure to check out the unboxing video if you haven't already. I've had a little bit more time to spend with the Kyber and I want to go through and just do a little bit of a deep dive, just talk about all the pros and cons, any likes or dislikes, just to give you my overall thoughts and perspectives on this new model. So at this point in time with the new Kiesel Kyber, I would imagine you guys have probably already heard enough as far as like demos and playthroughs and sounds, that kind of stuff. And I mean, just like any other high-end guitar in this day and age, I think it's fair to say that they're all gonna sound good, right? So whether you're playing country or he's playing rock or this guy's doing metal, or look, I think these guitars can pretty much do anything. For me, I like to put a little bit more focus on just the overall, the comfort, the playability, the ergonomics, like how does the guitar feel, right? Are you sitting? Are you standing? What is the overall experience in terms of owning this model of guitar? And honestly, I have to be quite direct with you guys. There's a lot of things about the Kyber I don't like. So one of the biggest things that you're probably hearing a lot about the Kyber is it's very lightweight, it's very ergonomic, it's very comfortable. While I do believe that generally to be a true statement, yes, the guitar is super lightweight. There's a lot of really nice details as far as the arm bend, the body contours, just the way everything is sculpted to sit well against the body. This guitar does have some balance problems. First of which being, let's just say we are in a seated position. We're gonna be resting the guitar on our dominant leg. So if you're right-handed, it's gonna sit on your right leg here. And it just, unfortunately, no matter what you do, it just doesn't really balance for the dominant side. I mean, it's just, it doesn't really balance well at all. It just wants to tilt and just dive away. So that's a bit of a bummer. You guys heard I had talked about it on my unboxing when I spec'd out the guitar. I specifically chose this black limbo wood because it tends to be a little bit heavier. So I can't imagine some of these coming around that 5-pound range, somewhere even lighter than this, probably even worse neck dive. So that is a little disappointing. So that's the right leg situation, right? It's the right leg situation. Well, you're gonna say, well, the guitar is great in a classical position. Let's try that. Okay, let's go ahead and throw it on over here. And I mean, it's better. It's better. I mean, I guess, you know, you could maybe get like a little footrest, maybe a little footrest here might make it a little bit better, but quite frankly, it's just not really all that comfortable, if I'm being honest. So again, when in the seated position, I would say classical is certainly the better option of the two, but you can kind of still see it's like, I would say by the time you really apply some pressure from your picking hand, it definitely helps kind of keep the guitar in place, but you still do kind of feel the tendency the guitar wants to kind of move a bit away from you. Just the weight of the headstock and having such a slim, lightweight body, it's not as well balanced as I would have hoped it would have been. Now, let's definitely talk about the strap. I would say that's definitely where the Kyber really starts to shine. And with the strap, because the way the upper horn is positioned with that strap button, you do get really nice balance. Like if I just pretty much go hands free here, just sitting down, the fairly tight, short strap length, it sits really well. It sits really well. I really can't complain about that at all. It's just that, and this is just kind of a me thing, if I'm gonna sit at home, just casually playing, most time, if I'm sitting down, I'm just not really putting on a strap. I'd rather just my guitar sit right over here and hopefully be somewhat stable. Or if I'm gonna put it over here in a classical position, again, hoping to be a little bit more stable. But I feel like the Kyber, it's one of those guitars where you pretty much need a strap at all times to really have it sitting comfortably against the body. Now, as far as our standing test goes, again, no problem. Once you have like a strap, I mean, the guitar, it sits, it hangs in a very comfortable upright position, no problem. So like I said, Kyber, yes, it's amazing. There are some drawbacks. If you are the type of person that you're pretty much always going to play with a strap, I think you'll be okay for the most part. But if you're just expecting to walk up to the rack, grab a guitar, sit down on a chair like a couch, it just doesn't really work that well without a strap, in my opinion. Now, something else you probably hear a lot of other reviewers talk about is the output jack situation. I'm not a big fan of this. I wish it was in a different spot for a couple reasons. So firstly, like I said, if you're sitting down, just want to rest it on your right leg, that dominant side. Like I said, you get a lot of neck dive with the Kyber. From there, you grab a right angled cable. Then what you do is you plug it in here. So we moved to the classical position here. And it's just like, now this is like rubbing like the inside of your leg. It's just, I don't know, man, it's just not very comfortable, to be honest. And then naturally, like as you're, playing, you're moving, nobody's ever like perfectly like statue still, right? You feel this moving. Like, I don't know, I find it a bit annoying. So that's it for the output jack situation. The other thing is the headstock. Now, I love this style headstock. I think it looks really modern and aggressive. I like it pointy, looks very similar to a lot of the other companies that have done these types of models. But the reason I have this fret wrap on here is because this guitar has a lot of noise, a lot of string noise from the headstock. You just even like little palm muted rakes. You hear that ringing, it's coming from the headstock. So I'll put the fret wrap back on there. So it is fixable, right? Not the end of the world, but just another minor inconvenience. Aside from that, I would say the Kyber is great. I mean, just like any Kiesel guitar, very strong, stable neck. You've got multi-piece lamination. You've got the carbon fiber rods, dual way truss rod. Like I said, the body, very well sculpted, lots of nice ergonomics. It is super lightweight, but these are just a couple things to be aware of. Now, I know some people have been a little bit critical about the strap location on the back, like facing this part of the body. I don't really have a problem with it necessarily. I do think that, you definitely want to have some type of strap lock or something to prevent the strap from sliding off, just because it's kind of pulling away, like just the way that you would position this as you were to like stand to play it. So, if you have it, maybe here, or kind of like the Hydra that's over there, it's kind of like up here. Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I guess that was the best logical placement for it. Not a huge complaint or anything like that, but it's just a little bit different for sure. I mean, visually, I agree with Jeff. I mean, it looks super clean, no question. I'm the kind of person who'll grab a guitar, sit down in the chair, right? Just want to play. And for me, this is kind of like the biggest frustration. It's like having to, grab like an additional thing. Even on that left leg, it's just not great, to be honest, as far as balance. Now, something else to keep in mind. The day I ordered the Kyber was the original release date, which was the end of May of 2025. So guys, please bear in mind, at that given point in time, the only Kyber available was the standard model with the headstock. At that point, the headless Kyber had not yet been released. You guys have probably seen something that Kiesel has just announced. They do also have a headless Kyber. Now, considering my frustrations with the balance as far as the standard Kyber, if I could do it all over again, or had I had the option to do a headless or headstock model, I absolutely would have gone with the headless. Knowing what I know as far as the balance issues and whatnot with the headstock model, given the choice at the time, I would have for sure gone with the headless Kyber. So just bear that in mind when making your decision about these guitars. If that was something I could change, I would just definitely convert this to a headless model, but obviously we know it is what it is, right? So those are just my general thoughts as far as pros and cons, a couple of drawbacks with the Kyber. A little bit disappointing. I do think that a lot of you guys are really gonna enjoy these guitars. Some people, might be a little bit more or less aware of these things, so that might just come down to your personal taste. I've just had so many guitars over the years. I've just become very aware of what I like and what I don't like. So ultimately, my goal as an everyday gear enthusiast is to take some of this information, share it with you guys, and I hope that helps let you guys make more informed decisions about your gear. But keep in mind, a lot of this, it's gonna come down to personal preference. So it's not always about who's right or wrong. It's just about what might work best for you. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's discussion. Be sure to let me know your thoughts, comments in the comment section down below. I wanna hear your experience with your Kyber, if it's working or not. Regardless, let's hear about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the video with a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.